again. So you ready? Come join me back on the mat, my friends. Let's get this funky Friday flow going. All right, it's a really wonderful time to grab some accessories, whether you like pillows or blankets or anything that would make your practice feel cozy. Like, we want to nurture ourselves. We've committed to our self-care, so let's make the actual practice soft and loving and cozy. So from your transitions to the way you're propped up, everything is done with a nurturing, loving kindness. Great time to lift hips a little higher than knees. And then we're going to activate our core and our pelvic floor before we breathe this morning. So once you get ready, we're going to find just a little bit of stillness. Do all your shoulders and your neck wiggles, all your little moves and sways if you're feeling caffeinated or a little like funky and you just need to move a bit. Get really cozy so you can find a second or two of stillness. Might help to clear some stagnant air by breathing in really big and breathing out. We'll work breath together in just a moment. And then when all your fidgets are out and you feel like you can sit really still, come with me. Any seated posture is beautiful. Think about your ribs like a corset. So we're going to rub our hands over our ribs, literally feeling that movement coming together, like we're gluing our ribs together tightly in the front. Then put hands on belly, press back just a tad to push your belly into the spine, really supporting the front of your low spine. And then think about zip tying your navel to your spine. So it's in tight for class. Tuck tailbone just a tad. Physically feel, or just notice it in your mind's eye, the length in your low back. And then squeeze your sits bones together. Feel that pelvic floor activation. Okay, now can you breathe through all of that? Breathe in slowly. Feel everything knitting together, drawing in, squeezing the whole pelvic floor up. And then soften down while maintaining those beautiful locks, holding our energy in. Let's try one more big breath, breathing through all this. And release. All right, adding in some movement. Open your eyes if you close them for a second. Arms rise overhead. Don't worry about your breath. Just breathe however it feels good. Elbows come down, and when they do, scoot them forward a bit, but feel your shoulder blades wrapping under to help your heart rise. Beautiful. Palms come together, press elbows, and then drop elbows to belly. Nose following forearms for a little bend. Arms rise again all the way to the sky, clasping behind the low back, and take a moment to really soften elbows as you lengthen your knuckles. Open your heart. Feels open. Nice, right? And then exhale, float down. While we float down, we're going to keep our sits bones really connected. Let's try that again. Arms rise. Don't worry about your breath. We'll connect that in a moment. Exhale, cactus, elbows scooting forward. Palms, elbows, forearms press, and then roll into a tiny little ball. Arms rise high. Clasp hands behind low back. When you do this, can you change your thumb on top? Let's see if we can make it the awkward way. And then float forward and down. Sits bones anchored to the earth. Let's try to connect with some breath, my friends. Let fingers float to the earth. Swap your leg that's in front or on top. Just take a moment to fully exhale. Get rid of all your air. Try a little bit more, a little push. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, elbows fall to cactus. Scoot them forward. Inhale, press everything together in the front. Really strong connection. Exhale, crunch down, rounding back into a little ball. Inhale, arms rise again. Exhale, clasp around your low back. Soft elbows, real big extension. Inhale, float forward and down. Exhale, rise. Let's make it a little slower if possible. Arms up for 4. Exhale, cactus, 4. Press palms, create energy. 3, 2. Exhale, fall. Inhale, rise. Exhale, clasp behind low back. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, fall. Exhale, rise. Trying to keep about a 4-second breath. Arms lift. Climb up your ribs. Exhale, scoop heart forward. Inhale, press, generate good energy here. Exhale, crunch on down, belly in a little tighter. Inhale, rise skywards, wiggle fingers, find your energy. Exhale, clasp behind low back. Send knuckles down, chase the floor. Forward bending, lengthen out your sides, tuck chin, long in the neck. Exhale, rise. Wonderful job. Arms rise again. This time lean back behind and scoot your chest up to the sky. Press belly and pelvis forward. Push knees forward and down. Just breathe up and under your collarbones. Like the biggest breath ever. A little bit of a more sip. Extra sip. Exhale, release. Feels good. Very invigorating, isn't it? Scoot your legs all around, whichever way feels good, and then come on around the corner. All right, my friends, another chance to do all of the things, literally crawling around your mat, taking up space, moving this way and that. Good time to pad knees if they're a bit cranky. Just kind of finding a tabletop, but one that has a lot of swing and sway in it. And then pausing in tabletop to re-lock up through the body. So we're going to take our navel up to our spine, safety for low back. And then move in a sway, push and pull, find outer hips, push forward and back, find your wrists. But try to get to the tip of every finger, all through the hands there. Spread your fingers and webbing wide. Tuck all 10 toes under to get a little bottom of foot stretch. As you're swinging back and crouching, you may want to lift your knees a little bit. Put them back down and come around. Forward and back, maybe another little crouch. Through class today, we're going to be really exploratory, inviting lots of fun movements into our practice. Please remember that if you're listening to your body, I'm just your guide. There's no wrong way to move. You do what feels really good for you. One more round of breath. Next time you get to a little crouch back, lift up through your hips, really, really, really slowly. Scoop up, scoop back. Don't worry, we're not ready for down dog just yet. Let's just walk our toes on forward to a very soft forward fold. And then like a rag doll, climbing to the sky so slow, whether you want to swing around the corners, bend your knees, maybe you're hinging with big arms to the sky, or reach up, and then find a new way to fold down. Maybe it's coming through heart center. Right back to where we were in our fold. Try pressing the backs of your hands down on the floor with wide webbing, fingers wiggly and open, and then a new way to rise. Let's connect with our breath. Arms up and overhead, big beautiful breath in. Can you find a new way to fall? Maybe it's to one side then the other on an exhalation. Back of hands pressed down, warm up your wrists. Find a new way to rise. I'm going to come up the other way. Swing up. And we have one more round. Big breath in. Big breath out. Whatever's speaking to you. One more time, my friends. Back of hands pressed to the earth. But can you spin your fingers around this time to a new way? Maybe just one hand spins in a funky direction. Spin the other one. Flip palms back down to the earth. Take a halfway lift. Inhale, top of head far from tail. Super lighten our fingers, and if possible, let them float just above the floor or sweep them behind you and give yourself a little energetic finger wiggle, maybe a shoulder shimmy, a tuck of your chin, lengthening through back of neck. Release back to the earth. Right leg takes a long step back. In this kneeling lunge, pad up your knee if you need it with your mat or a cushion. Let's rise to the sky, untucked through the back toes, and I'm going to get a strong foundation going this morning. Press through the top of your back leg. Press through the bottom of your front foot. Squeeze together through the inner thighs and reach up to the sky. Feel the lightness in your upper body in comparison to this strength in the lower body. Reach all the way forward. Hold for a second. Keep squeezing front heel to back knee and then come to the earth. Lift up through back leg. Find your way back to downward facing dog. If it's tough underneath your body, feel free to drop the back knee again and sweep around the corner. A soft downward facing dog. Knees are gently bent, pressing fingertips forward. Try to split your mat in half. Press again forward, lengthening through your spine. Give a little swing and sway. And a super soft travel forward into plank. Breathing in. This is a soft plank. It could be kneeling. And then try to swing your hips on down to a gentle up dog. Or a super gentle travel to the earth with a tiny little back bend. Press right back. child's pose. Before your buns hit your heels, swing a little right to left. Tuck your toes and rise back into that soft, long spine, downward facing dog. Stretch out your calves a little bit. Press your right heel down and pour tons of energy into it. Press your left heel down. Give me all you got. Lengthen out through the back of that leg. One more slow travel each way. Right heel, really press. Left heel. Let's let both heels float up just a little. Lift up a little higher. Higher, higher, higher. Lift through your heels. And then melt them back down. A right leg rises. Push long through this three-legged dog. Look forward and see if we can crunch under our bodies to get foot between the thumbs. It's okay if you get stuck. Land your left knee. Help your leg forward. And for a moment, just sink into this low lunge. Knee shin and top of left foot flat. As we rise to the sky, really push down and activate. Bottom of right foot, that bottom of left leg. Inhale, rise. Squeeze inner thighs together. Come forward, reach past your right knee. Squeeze inner thighs together again. And then release your fingertips. Float back knee up, step forward. Maybe we float the leg for a second and release into forward fold. Take a second, my friends. Halfway lift, fingers super light, fluttering if they're hovering. Find some energy. From here, fingertips to your hip crease. We're going to try to rise together in a hinge. Soften your knees if necessary, and then rise up with power from your heels. Ooh, that's a strong one, yes? Inhale, arms rise. Same way to float down all together now. Hands to hip crease. Widen if you'd like. Soften your knees. Lift up, open heart. And then exhale with as bent knees as you need to a hinge. Float to the floor. Wonderful. Left leg steps back. We're going to elevate this lunge. Back knee lifted if you can. Arms rise. Hold for a second. Now we're going to go soft in the legs for a minute. Let the hips melt. And then do what we did before. Squeeze inner thighs together. Pull left knee up and press out through the heel and find an eagle wrap. Left arm under the right. Little wrap. Shoulder hold or a double wrap. Stay low in your legs as you lift up through the fingertips. Stay in this lunge. Kneel if you feel wobbly and crunch your elbows towards your belly. Rounding as we wrap. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fall. Now, wherever you are, we are pressing our elbows forward to find lots of openness through our back. We have 2 more big, beautiful breaths in. What are you able to release? I always like to release and wiggle fingertips, maybe the tip of your nose, the front toes for sure. Last round, inhale. Exhale, unwrap smooth and slow and float to the earth like this beautiful rainfall today. Press back to dog. How can I get there? Well, I might swing my foot back, find a little child, and then a real soft dog. As I float forward, I'm finding soft, wave-like movements. Melt to the earth. Use your knees to support you. Staying for a moment, yogis. Take fingertips wider than your shoulders for a rolling iguana. Tuck your chin to your chest. Roll up from back body, then open your throat as you melt back down. Roll up, exhale. Inhale, lower. And if this isn't your cup of tea, it's fine. Just pause. Hold your little baby cobra or a big up dog. One more round. Nicely done. Press back to child's. We're finding that soft down dog. Our toes are tucking under. We're scooping our hips to the sky. A really soft knee bend, but push fingers forward. Lots of length in your spine. Swings and sways are always welcome. Left leg lifts. Push super long. A little bit longer. Crunch under your body and land. Help your leg forward if you need to. No rush. Soften the knees to help you lift. Widen left to right if you feel really wobbly here, so I can come out wider. That feels nice. Right arm wraps under. Okay, now let's strengthen the legs. Bend deeper and then push out through your right thigh. Got it? Knee high in the thigh. Okay, lift fingertips. It's okay if you're holding shoulders, lift elbows in that case. And then crunch when you're ready. Exhale. Inhale. 3 more rounds. If you're feeling quite wobbly or still sleepy or funky from the rain, let's use some beautiful affirmations to remind ourselves of our power. I am strong. I am balanced. Last round. I am confident. I am centered. Untangle your arms. Reach up, float down so softly over front leg. Draw your back leg in. Take a fold and chill for a sec. Halfway lift so we're not dizzy. Breathe in. Bend your knees. Sink your buns down and let's find a chair pose. Climb up your thighs. When your chest and eyes are forward, clasp your hands behind your low back. Good. Press to the floor. With your knuckles, chase to the floor. Open your heart a little bit more, and if this bothers your elbows because you tend to lock them, you can hold like this behind your back. Really soft and gentle. Try to lift up your left heel. Squeeze your calf. Good. Right heel, squeeze up. Sit low in your chair, not rising through the knees. One more big lift. Nice. Squeeze on the calf. Give your shins some love. Squeeze. Beautiful. Arms rise all the way up and overhead. Inhale. Exhale, back down to the earth. Any way that feels good. From here, pause and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release back to the earth. Right leg lunges back. We're gonna stay in high lunge again. We're hoping to transition to warrior two in a moment. Let's lift all the way up into high lunge. Arms overhead and then fingertips lightly behind your head. You're welcome to clasp your hands as long as we don't pull our heads forward. So we wanna stay uplifted, lean back. I like to clasp because then I like to take my thumbs to my neck. It just feels so nurturing, like you're being held and loved. That's what our yoga practice is for. Inhale, rise. If this is really tricky balance-wise, feel free to land in warrior one instead so you have your whole back foot to fall into. Take another big breath in, but pull up from your ribs. Lift from your hip bones. Keep your hands in transition to warrior two. Turning back foot out a little bit. Find about 2.5 body lengths long in this stance. And if you're wondering, am I there? Take your hands out for a second. Check. Are my ankles under my wrists? And we're gonna good alignment here. Hands come back. Settle down. Tip your left elbow past your left knee, extending your side angle. If it's too tough with arms here, take a more traditional format. Anything goes. One more big breath in. On this exhalation, reach your fingertips. Wiggle them a little bit of jazz hands here. Reach out. Take another big breath in. Energy in the bottom side especially. Stay strong. I know you can do this. Clasp hands at heart center. Stay here. Nice to check in with our heartbeat. You can also place your hands here. Or if possible, lower elbow to tap your left knee. That's hard. Lose the tension in your face. Breathe through. Know you can. We always have the traditional alignment. One more breath, yogis. Hands float down as we turn the corner. Turn your back toes in. Pause for a second, and when you have energy, press back to downward facing dog. Woo! Give yourself a little break there, a little shimmy through your hips and shoulders. A quick walk the dog. We're gonna flow, but you're welcome to pause right where you are. Softly roll like a wave upon the sand. Exhale, melt to the earth. Take a rolling cobra or just hold a baby cobra. Find child's pose or scoot right back to downward facing dog. Lift up through your right leg. Push longer and then step forward when you feel ready to crunch. Back leg steps in for a nice fold. Take a second in your fold, possibly wrapping hands around calves or behind your knees to give yourself a loving hug. Reminder that you are awesome. Tell yourself I am determined. And we're gonna get stronger as we power through the second side. Push through the heels, roll like a rag doll to standing, maybe a little swing and sway. Inhale, arms lift. Ready to move on? Let's exhale, forward fold again. Halfway lift on a big, beautiful inhalation. Exhalation. Left leg lunges back. Elevated lunge if possible so we can easily transition to that warrior two, arms overhead. And then remembering in the beginning that we're gonna fingertip behind ears or a full clasp so you can massage onto your neck with your thumbs. Lift and lengthen. Peel elbows back. Sink low in the legs. Really push long through your back heel. One more time, but this time lengthening through the ribs. Lift up. And on that exhalation, swivel back, heel down. Turn chest and hips to me. Holding hands for warrior two. Sink low. If you need to check, it's okay. Extend your arms. Am I wide enough? Yes? Ankles under wrists? Looks good? Okay, come on back up here. Tip your right elbow past the end of your mat. Really go long. Stay super energized in your right side. Options. Options. You know you have all the hand placement options. One more big breath in. Beautiful work, yogis. Stay determined. I know you've got this. Hands clasped at your heart, or they cover your heart. See if you can tap your right elbow to your right knee. Now look at me, I got really hunched, yes? So as I do this, if I came down low, I really need to make sure I can open. We can use our hands on our chest to peel open, or come up a little higher. One more breath. Turn hard over right toes, turn back toes in, sweep up. Frame out the front foot, and then find a second of energy to push yourself back to down dog. Options, table, child's into dog, no rush. When you've arrived, rolling forward, melting to the earth, scooping up into a cobra, an up dog, or a rolling version of that. Come on back down, press to down dog. I love a good child's pose before a down dog so you can swing out some tension in your low back. Dog when you're ready. This time, yogis, we're gonna get floaty and free. Lift up through your back leg, whichever leg is the one that if you step through right now, you can still see me. Turn to see me. Arms rise high, horse stance. So we're almost lifted straight up, but then a tiny bend in our knees so we stay soft. You check to make sure that your toes are in line with your knee, about middle of foot. Just gonna stay here and breathe. Okay, arms rise. Back of fingers come together, and we're side lunging to the right. Watch my arms. Think bow and arrow. Inhale, pinkies come together, palms face your body. Side lunge left, think bow and arrow. Beautiful. Tiny little squat, lift. Exhale, now you can stay up high, or if it feels good to be more expressive, come on down and really pull your fingertips apart. Think like the Adonis. Inhale, exhale, bend deeply. You can also add on a side bend. Inhale, rise. Watch me if you're not sure. Side bend all the way down into this lunge. Or it can stay little at the top with just a breathe in, breathe out. Find a softness and a lightness. So nice, liberating our whole upper body while strengthening the lower. We're gonna go for 3 more big ones. Open mouth exhalation, especially if you got a little toasty in that practice. Right back up through the center. So we wanna do our funky walk, toe, heel, or do you wanna bend your knees and go and jump on in? Arms rise, come to the top third of your mat, please. Arms elevate, but our shoulders go and relax down. Right knee rises, or just the heel, finding tree pose. So we can tap the floor underneath our knee, and above the knee is good, but I encourage you to find it with the own flexibility in your hips, your own inner thigh and outer thigh strength, not your hand putting yourself somewhere unnaturally. Lift. Squeeze through the inner thighs once you find your stability. Eye gaze rises to fingers. They're wiggly and soft. Arms are relaxed up here. If possible, your left heel rises. Oh yes, heel lifted tree. Ready? We might need a positive affirmation right about now. I am balanced. I am whole. I am enough. I haven't left the ground yet, in case you're wondering. I need another affirmation. I am centered. Ready, guys? Lift. And it's just fun. We're just getting a little looser, a little braver. Try again if you wobbled and fell. I did. Ready, lift. Awesome, guys. Eyes back forward, heels down. Take your knee and lift to me. Stay strong. Leg extension. You know you can have this on the floor. Extend forward, squeeze your quad. Good. Hold it if it's necessary. Beautiful. Stay for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. One more big breath in. Big breath out, rebend the knee. Don't you lose your arms. I know you can do this. Let the leg fall. You can shimmy your legs and your hips, but don't lose your arms. We're gonna get really strong up here. Left knee rises, toes lift. We can just balance low in our tree, squeeze through your inner thighs, or you can lift higher. Woo, see, sometimes one leg will go and the other one doesn't want to, and if you must, go for it. You can lift. Just try not to force anything. Your shoulders getting tired yet? Hang on. Okay, any affirmation you need, tell yourself now, because we're gonna look up. That's a challenge on the balance in itself. And then when you're feeling really focused, I know you can do this, lift your right heel. I always envision spreading my toes and the ball of my foot away from the outer edge before I rise, and then a little tiny boost up. If you really want to get this heel lift, but you can't with eyes up, look to the floor. It's a bunch safer down there. Try again for another breath or two. If you wobbled out, come on back in with us. You're safe, we got this. One more breath. Excellent, yogis. Eyes back forward, arms stay up. Knee comes in, extend forward. You can be on the ground or not. Squeeze through your quad. Try to draw your kneecap up and in. Really pull into midline. 2 breaths. Wiggle through your toes. Wave at me with your toes. Got it? One more. Rebend. Oh, finally, arms. Shake out your arms. Well done. One more round of balances. What do your legs need to be refreshed? We want them to feel really good, whether they need a massage or a little shimmy, whatever you need. Ready to go? Arms up again. This is going to be a fun one. Right knee rises, and we're going to push back to airplane. I'm going to show you from the side. Knee lift, and then just go like this. Press back to airplane. Optionally, toes on floor. Upper body really lifted. We're gonna do this a bunch, but I want you to get braver every time. Ready? Knee lift, as high as you can. Exhale, push back. So we're going smooth in the beginning. Let's figure ourselves out. Inhale. Exhale. But then I want you to find so much bravery that you just lift and you swing. Inhale, rise. Exhale, swing. And if this parallel to the floor stuff isn't really making you feel super great, then make it a diving airplane. Challenge yourself. Toe to sky, head to floor, inhale, rise. Don't think, just go, yogis. Diving airplanes. So if I want to try that, but I'm a little nervous, I would lift, and then I would place my fingertips down and dive. Inhale, rise. Let's go for 3 more. Exhale, swing. Just break out of your mold. Let loose. Have some fun. Be free. Try one more. Inhale. Exhale, push back. Nice hold here, lengthen. Really soar through the sky. No turbulence, just smooth sailing. Come on back down. Standing leg gets a good bit of strength. Give it some love, shake it out. When you're ready, let's rise on the other side. Left knees. So I could stay low the whole time, right? Watch me find this airplane here. Toes back. Lift up. Airplane pose. Good, now find an up dog feeling in your chest. Really open and spread your wings. If you're feeling a little spicy today, let's lose our smooth, strong airplane and just try to find a big, energetic boost. Woo, it gets wobbly on the grounded leg sometimes, doesn't it? Inhale, exhale. If you're ready for a little more, we're gonna dive this airplane. Top of head to floor, toes to sky. Hold it for as long as it feels really good. Move when you're ready. Let's try 3 more breaths, yogis. There's no set number of anything you have to do. Just find quality of movement, freedom of heart and mind, move and groove. Support yourself with fingers under shoulders if you need it. One final breath in. Almost lost it there. Exhale, push back. One more big rise with energy, with enthusiasm, and then we let it go. Awesome. Give yourself a giant pat on the back, mentally or just like really do it because you deserve it. Well done, yogis. Arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. We're gonna take a sec down here. You deserve it. Let a load off. Like, oh, that craziness and that fun and funkiness is just dripping off the top of your head. We're gonna slow back down. Take another big breath in. Feel your belly float up off your thighs. Feel your back fill with air like a big jellyfish. 360-degree breathing. Step back with your right leg, please. And then step right back with your left. We're coming into downward facing dog. Awesome, guys. All right, take your left leg forward, please, and let's find a triangle pose. So pulling up through the front knee, high into thigh. You can stay on any props that you have, building the floor up, or you can open up with your right arm, left hand on floor. It can hover up off the shin, or just hover in space. Stay here, or lift arms to airplane, straight out like wings. And then turn the corner. So we're coming straight forward over left toes. And then turn the corner to find twisted triangle pose. Fingertips of the right hand to the floor, a prop, or to hover. And then left arm rises. Eye gaze can look towards the left side. It may, even if you're on the floor, look all the way up towards left fingertips. My friends, I didn't have to twist at all. I could have just stayed in this elevated twist, or I drop the hands. Right fingers down, left fingers up. Stay strong for one more big breath. Top arm spins to the floor. Elevate your back heel, toes forward, so we can step into chair. A tiny twist in the same direction for chair. Sink buns, place hands on thighs, place hands on left thigh, lift your chest and look over your left shoulder. This might be a great place to stay. If you want to try to find a prayer, we push palms together. Exhale, twist right elbow to left. Inhale, open chest. Exhale, twist. And if your body's asking you for more, right elbow may land on left thigh. We're not going to force it. We're just going to see if it wants to land, and we stay in this prayer twist. Otherwise, high is really nice and nurturing for your belly. One more big breath. Right back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Nice, my friends. Left leg steps straight back. Find a lunge to begin. Straighten up through your front leg, land back blade edge of foot, and find a regular triangle pose. Right fingertips could stay on the floor, top of foot, shin, feather light if they're touching leg, or they hover above the ground. I like to hover because we want our right side really lifted. We want our right knee really soft, so up is sometimes more freeing. Stay here, or lift, find your airplane arms, turn towards your front toes. We can stay in any of these options, guys. We can continue twisting around to the right side, and then potentially dropping left fingers, right arms would reach skywards for twisted triangle pose. Wherever you found, make sure we have long, steady breaths, lines of energy. Right foot towards the right hip bone, left fingers to right fingers, top of heads to tailbones. One more breath in. One more breath out, turning back toes in, finding a low lunge again, and stepping straight into chair pose. Sink your buns down, arms rise. Now palms in a prayer. Exhale, sink lower. Inhale, rise through chest. Twist over to the right side. Try to keep your knees and your hip points forward. Think of your body as two different sections. Inhale, rise. Exhale, twist. Stay right here. No need to drop, but if you want a little more left elbow, if it easily connects to right thigh, you do it. Press down through left elbow to lift, sternum towards thumbs. Otherwise, I'm up here, I'm breathing, I'm twisting. One more big breath, direct your eye gaze a bit more to the right, and see if your body wants to follow. Back to center. Well done. One more little balancing chair exercise. Lift arms overhead. Both heels are going to rise. Remember those squeezes, calves into shins? You might want to widen for more balance. Lift heels up, squeeze. Inhale, release. Up, squeeze. Yeah, I like the squeeze when we're using a lot of effort. So I go exhale, and then inhale to fall. It might be fast. 3. Try to let it down slowly. 2. One more round of strong control. Are your thighs shaking yet? Squeeze. Release, hold chair. Exhale, forward fold. Well done, yogis. You have finished all the standing stuff. Give yourself another one of those mental pat on the back. All right, whatever leg wants to fall first. Let's just let ourselves get down softly, gently. Okay. Coming back into that seated position we started with. Easy seat is great. If you can lean back and cross your right leg on top, that's good too. Modified half lotus, or I want your right leg in front to begin. So find your way. If we're pokey up to the sky, stack a bunch of things under so we're really feeling supported and grounded into something. Then scoot or super gently remove any flesh from under your sits bones. All right, ankles feel okay. You might need a little something under here so we don't get a banana ankle. So we're really strong in ankles, protecting our knees. Once you're situated, arms up and overhead. Clasping hands behind our heads. Like we're doing a little tricep stretch here, but I'm gonna use my head. I'm hugging my head with my arms. Then I'm gonna use my head to lift up. Super confident, chin coming up and forward, pressing back into my arms. Feel the lengthening in your spine. Left arm rises. We're gonna try to hold on to our right elbow here. Use your left forearm behind your head and then use your head to press back. Stretching really long through the right tricep. Heading towards a cow face arm. So I want to teach you a little trick that I like to use to get there. You could just simply, if you know you're really flexible in your binds, drop your left hand and try to bind from here. But I can never do that right away. So I'm going to teach you a little trick. Bring your right forearm around your low back and then pretend I'm behind my back. I'm going to take my fingers and pull, my wrist and pull, or maybe I could take my elbow and pull. So we're slowly losing tension in the right shoulder. And if you're really flexible in that right shoulder, you can clasp wrists around your left waist. See it here? Clasp around there. I want to feel a combing sensation down the outside of my shoulder. Sitting up tall. And this may be where you stay. This is great too. Take as long of a stretch as you need. Eventually, again, pretend I'm behind my back. Eventually, I'm going to take my left hand and scoop my fingers like the hand of a clock up my spine so I can take my left arm back up and try to hold, okay? So we'll see if this works. All right, did you get it? It's okay if you didn't, because just the act of reaching, pressing your shoulder down, pressing your forearm into your back will really release tension. Sitting up tall. Try to release your facial muscles, all of those beautiful storylines around your eyes, in between your brows and across your forehead. One more breath. Exhale, release. Super nice. Let go of your arms. Might be a little cranky in that bottom shoulder. That's okay. Just give it some time, as much time as you need. Lean back when you're ready. And let's just swish our legs side to side. Or if you just want to come forward and shake out your knees, massage your legs, your hips, whatever needs help. Right leg comes down first. Left leg comes down in front. Or if it happens naturally, let it fall across. Watching out that we're really flexed strong in the foot to keep our ankles square and knees protected. Scoot your buns. All right, this is a great place to be. And you could just stay here and stretch your hips. Arms rise. Hold on to your left elbow. Remembering that once we get our right forearm back there, we're going to try to lift our chin again, long through the backs of our necks. Eye gaze forward and using our heads to press back a little bit, but we're still corseting ribs in, pulling navel in, protecting low backs. So you're welcome to go ahead and grab this bind right away if you know you can. Or if we need a little extra stretching, we're going to come down and across. So behind the low back with our left arm. Add any help that's necessary with your right arm, even potentially clasping fingers around your right side. This is one of my favorite places to stay. Feel that? And if it feels so good you don't want to leave, don't leave. If we really want to try for that bind, we can do it here. Go like this, whoop, up the spine, and then your right arm would reach up and around. And then once again, elevate through the chin, elevate and lengthen your throat, long in your spine, really productive, confident, beautifully elongated as we connect with our breath. Try to free up face. This is a tough bind, so sometimes we end up squinting our eyes, clenching our jaws, let it all float away. One more breath, my friends. This might be your releasing breath. It takes a while sometimes to get our arms unattached from our back down there. Woo! Let your arm be free. You can give it a massage if it needs it, or just float free for a second. Lean back, uncross your legs. And when you're ready, we're gonna have some fun. So let them swish, let them jiggle. Give your hip flexors or your knees a massage if they need it. And then once you're done with your shakes, let all legs come out long. So we're gonna try to lower really slowly today, guys. Point your toes like you're gonna stamp your big toe on the ground. Come up long in your spine and then hug a tree. So when you hug a tree, you probably have to round your back, right? Good, and then walk your buns flesh underneath of you, yes? Okay, roll down one tiny vertebrae at a time. Lift your arms all the way overhead. Hug that tree again, tuck your chin, and try to rise. It's okay if your heels rise. We're gonna try to keep them down if possible. Lift, tuck your buns flesh back under so it doesn't get pinched as you roll back down. Hug a tree, so round your back, and then roll back down. Arms back and overhead. That's hard, isn't it? Let's come back up, rise, sit up really tall. If your buns flesh came undone, wrap it back under again. Lift and hug a tree, round your back, and this time we stay, I promise. Roll down one little vertebrae at a time. If you can, maybe hold it somewhere. That's a challenge. And then roll down to the floor. Awesome, guys. Let your arms float wide and release. Knees over your hips. No closer, okay? Knees over hips. They don't come any closer to our nose. Fingertips to our temples. You can flex or point your feet or do a whole bunch of all. And then draw navel and push your low back flat to your mats. Let's lift our upper bodies. You have a really squishy fruit under your chin. I don't want you to smush it, so keep your eyes up. Bicycle crunches just for 2. Right armpit to left knee, armpit to knee, keep elbows wide. Switch. Left armpit to right knee. Frog crunch, soles of feet together, hold the tops of your feet and crunch up. Let's try that a bunch. We're gonna come back to bicycle, crunch one leg, crunch the other leg, frog crunch, hold tops of your feet. Try it twice more and then we're gonna extend. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, back to bicycle. Last one like this. All right, let's not hold our feet the next time. Now push, pull through your legs, and then karate chop outside the tops of your feet. That makes it harder. Let's go, my friends. Inhale, exhale. Does not have to be fast. We want it to be really strong, integrating lots of twist through the core. And then uplift. Remember that right fruit. Chin is lifted, eyes are at the sky, or maybe as low as that divider between your wall and the ceiling. 2 more rounds. Keep your breath, it will sustain you. Last round, we will take a break, so hang on. Exhale. Hold on to tops of your feet. One more big lift up if you don't need them. Karate chop again. Close your knees and relax. Whew, good work, guys. Let your feet fall. Give your belly a little loving hug or maybe a little massage. Reach long into a good morning stretch. And then from your feet flat again, we're gonna turn over to our left sides, coming up into a modified side plank. So everyone's bottom knee is gonna be down, left forearm down, right knee down with left knee down with heel behind it, and then lift up through your left hips. Just make sure your shoulder is happy here. If it's not, move a little bit to make sure you're stacked in your joints. Arm rises overhead, staying in this modified side plank, or we're gonna crunch our knee into our elbow, reach overhead. As we do, watch what I'm not doing. Down and up. No, we're gonna keep our bottom hip really lifted. Crunch in, stretch out. Crunch in, stretch out. Good. And if it's just absolutely too much for your bottom shoulder, we can do a little crunch in and crunch out. Same thing on the right side, but from tabletop. Not much nicer on our joints. Let's try for 4 more. Okay, remember every transition is smooth and slow like butter melting. Last big one. Come up and in and hold. 4 seconds, squeeze in. 3, 2, belly in, and 1, reach out. Find your back again. Just a little variation on that last exercise. Around the corner. Softly come down. Are you able to point your toes? Yes. Hug a tree. Wrap your buns flush under. Roll down softly. Nice job, guys. Reach out and rest for a moment. Get your feet situated and your buns so you're really comfy on your backs. back to that 90-degree knee, but we're gonna start each one with our left shoulder coming to right knee, starting on the opposite side. 2 bicycle crunches, bellies down, backs flat. Crunch in and out. Straddle crunch this time. Spread legs wide, hold the inner thighs and lift up. Gonna go slow for 3 more like that. Left shoulder, right shoulder, hold the legs, lift the upper body, right foot under chin. Try twice more. Push, pull. Optionally, toes can always come to the ground instead of extending. Exhale, inhale. Karate chopping for the next 4 instead of holding on to thighs. Now I know you can do this. Ready? Straddle, karate chop. You can bend knees if it's too intense with straight legs. Push, pull, breathe the whole time. Twice more like this. One more, yogis. Stay at the tippy top. You can hold your thighs. We're gonna rise for 4 seconds. If possible, open your toe webbing, pulse for 3, 2, and 1. Close the legs and rest. Well done. Give your belly some love. Poke and prod like you're playing the piano on your belly. Just free it up and then stretch open. Good morning stretch. Okay, bend your knees again, feet flat, and this time you're gonna roll to your right side. Remembering how we just set up for side plank modified. Once you get your forearm down, elbow right under shoulder, scoot your right knee so that your heel is right behind it, and I'm really energized in my right side. If my shoulder hurts, I listen to my body and I come to tabletop crunches instead. Left arm reaches overhead, left leg reaches out. All we do is crunch in with a bottom rib lifted and out, lengthen. Crunch in and out. Any breath that speaks to you. Option, coming to tabletop, same thing. Left knee, right elbow, push long. Exhale. We have 4. Can you free up your face? Can you wiggle your fingers and your toes? Find some relief somewhere. 1 more big crunch. You know what we're gonna do next, right? 4 seconds of a squeeze. 4, belly in, breathe strong. 2 seconds. And 1. This time, roll everyone to forearm tabletop. You are welcome to stay right here in modified forearm plank. Knees back on the diagonal, staying right here. We're gonna do diagonal reaches, so let me show you what we're gonna do. Reaching out with one hand, and then the other on the diagonal. Widen knees, or come off them completely with wider than hip distance feet. Ready? Forearm hover, or modified hover, diagonal reach. Left arm reaches out. Back in. Right arm reaches out. Back in. We're gonna sway in our hips, but we're looking for the least amount of sway possible. Really strong on the inner thighs, really strong in the belly. This is the home stretch. 3, 1 more each side. 1 more each side. I lied. 1 more each side. Okay, really, for real, this is the last one. Hold your forearm, hover for 3 seconds. 2 seconds. And 1. Lay your belly down on the earth. Let's stretch out. Bring tops of feet flat. Find a Sphinx pose. Once you get comfy with your forearms, draw them back towards your toes. Can you see my body right now? If I push my forearms down and draw them back, feel the upper body slide forward. Try to lift up under collarbones, inflate that balloon again. Wiggle your toes and then draw a little bit closer together through the inner thighs. Just hold here. Staying in Sphinx. Left toes elevate. We don't care how long, but it's like someone's pulling your toes away from your hips. So really push, push, push. Stay in Sphinx. Let your left toes fall. Right toes elevate. Push them away like someone's pulling them. Release. 1 more each side. Relax your shoulders. Open your heart through that elbow window. Release. Right side, lift. Extend for 3. Let it go. Melt down to the earth. I like to make a little pillow, stacking hands. Rest your head on your little pillow. And then literally, ladies, roll your hips side to side like a bowl full of really jiggly jello. Just let go of all that tension in your back. And if you'd prefer, you can have hands at sides and rest a temple on the floor. Let your bowl full of jello stop jiggling. And then if you had a temple down, swap your temples. Come back to center. Hands under your shoulders or wider if your shoulders are tight, and press on back to child's. Okay, a little bit of stretch out for our low backs. From extended child's pose, arms overhead. Reach them behind you. If possible, cupping onto your heels. Rolling so that the very crown of our head, not our foreheads, the very crown of our heads are on the floor. And then we're arching our back up into angry cat while holding on to the shins. If this seems impossible, we walk our knees a little bit closer towards our noses so we're really tight. Holding on to the shins, the ankles, or the heels will allow us to roll into this tight little ball known as hare pose, like the bunny, hare, H-A-R-E. Optionally, if this isn't available to us, it doesn't feel good or we can't breathe, we just press up into an angry cat posture. Take one more breath wherever you are. Let everything ungo. Come back to sit on your heels for just a moment. And we're going to finish up with another couple of stretches, but let's revisit the resonance breath we started with. On the shins or on the buns. If you're on your shins, you have the option of tucking your toes. All 10 toes under for toes pose. So we're going to go right into connecting it with our breath. Once you get situated, big exhalation out, so you can fill up really deeply. Arms rise overhead. Exhale to goal post. Elbows scoot a little bit forward. Inhale to meet hands in front of nose. Really squeeze. Exhale to crunch down. Elbows towards belly, eyes following forearms. Inhale, rise. Clasping any thumb on top, round behind the low back on your exhalation. Inhale, lift chest. Exhale, roll forward and down. One more round. Big breath in, high to sky with eyes and fingertips. Exhale, elbows, scoot them forward. Inhale, press eyes towards the forearms. Exhale, dip everything down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, opposite thumb clasps on top. Inhale, rise and open your chest. Exhale, float forward and down. Next inhalation lifts us back to center. Well done. Come on around the corner. If you're not yet on your buns, please do land there. Extend your legs out in front of you. Oh, so nice. Moving around so our flesh is out from under our sits bones. Give a little shimmy. And you can go a bit wider if you'd like. We're going to roll through some wave breaths. You can point or flex. Stack a rolled blanket or a sweatshirt or something underneath so they don't hyperextend. And then when you're ready, arms rise. So just float forward and down. Think of yourself like water lapping at the sand. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fall. Change your feet. See if that makes anything feel a little better. Point or flex, whatever you weren't doing. And then the next one, we're just going to stay for a moment. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, release wherever it feels really wonderful. See if you can scoot your heart a bit more forward. Scoot your side ribs a bit longer. And then go like this. Something under belly can be very nurturing right here. What can you do in this posture to let go, to deepen, to feel more at ease? I always love to unclench my jaw, let my teeth separate, rest tongue on back of bottom teeth, and then soften through the face. Maybe visualize tension dripping off the bottom of your earlobes, the tip of your nose, off your eyelashes and your lips. Relaxing into your stretch. My friends, rise when you're ready. Let's make it a little different. Flex your feet, please. Draw your left knee in. And then once you're in, let it fall to the side. You're welcome to open your knee or keep your heel close to your groin. Sending your right arm out and then really lift the upper body. So we're going to lift from the intercostals today. Left arm rises, and instead of wanting to fold over, we want to lift up, 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 up and away, and then over. Stay here, gluing left sits bone down and reaching up and away. Can we breathe more deeply? See it weaving through your left ribs, curling around your left hip point, finding all that beautiful space in between them and creating new lightness there. Top arm floats down, right big toe presses down, and then we're gonna lift our hips, maybe a little, or maybe a whole bunch. Spiral up into a big stretch here. Anything that you want with your top arm. It could even come behind your head, another beautiful nurturing hold. One more breath. Exhale, release. Let's lift this knee back up so we're safe in our joint. Extend it forward. Doesn't matter how you're sitting on your mat. Right knee comes in. When you feel ready, let it fall out. And you know your leg can open away. Give yourself more space. Close in. Let's really energize through this left leg. Right arm lifts up. Remember these muscles? We want to lift up and open. And then the left arm is just like a lever from the floor, from the shin, from the inner thigh, whatever you can to go up, like you're going to float away, all the way up, and then tip over if it feels good. We're really going for length today, though. One more big breath in. See if you can reach up with your right ribs. On the exhalation, land your right hand behind. Go for the big toe mound of your left foot. Press it down, rise maybe a little, or lift your whole heel up. And then find some amazing stretch on the other side, passively bringing fingertips to the back of your neck and really supporting your head as you press your head back heavily. Last breath of our practice in movement. Exhale, come on down to any position that feels really great to you, whether that be kneeling, seated, or lying. And as you find your comfy position for our last couple of minutes, physically bring a little curve or an upturn to the corners of your mouth, or if smiling feels a little cheesy, then you can envision a smile or like a goofy pet grin or something just so lighthearted and warming for your mind and your heart. You are worth the quiet moment. You are worth the very deep breath. You are worth the time it takes to slow down, be still, and rest. Try to imprint this position, this mindset, the sensations in your body. Keep them with you. Take a little mental snapshot of them so that if life gets too overstimulating or busy, you can just reconnect with this moment right here, right now, at a moment's notice, knowing it's always here for you. Remembering that peace does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It's when we are in the midst of all of those things and we can still be peaceful and calm, content in our hearts. When you're ready to bring yourself back to a seated position, slowly climb your way up. I always encourage saying 3 to 5 breaths, 5 to 10 minutes, whatever you have to spare longer in your relaxation at the end, giving yourself a chance to really absorb all the beneficial qualities of your movement practice. But to honor your time, if you have things to do, it is time to get ourselves recollected. Once you've joined me in this seated position, let's just re-engage that really strong belly to carry us confidently through today. Our super expansive and long spine. Bring our palms to our heart center, lifting our hearts up into our thumbs so we can try to connect with our heartbeat for a moment. That's nice. For the simple fact that we are alive and breathing and well enough to move through this practice today, I know that I am forever grateful for every moment that we have, and I am so grateful to see you this morning. Thank you for helping us all stay connected to one another and motivated to get here and commit to our own self-care. Yogis, the light in me honors, acknowledges, and is so grateful and inspired by the light that is each and every one of you. Thank you, my friends, and namaste until we meet again next week.